Welcome back, everybody, to RubbingsRacing. We're here tonight for round 4 of RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship. We're here at Road America this evening. Very, very challenging and difficult circuit to get right. Lots of mixes in terms of what corners you've got. You've got a very, very long fast straight and the back straight, which is just after turn 2. Also hitting very, very top speed. So these guys are going to have their car setups very much in mind when trying to adapt around this tricky, twisty Road America circuit. Currently riding on board with our championship leader and reigning champion here, Yasko VR, as he comes up the pit straight. He has got what looks like, that must be Nicky in tow, surely. Is that Nicky behind him? No, that's not Nicky, it's another Lamborghini. Who is that Lamborghini? Is it Doftinho? Might be Doftinho. It is indeed. So these two teammates opting to get the maximum amount of tow here coming down the pit straight. Yasko dragging his teammate along here as they come up to this little section in between turns 1 and 2. They've got a bit of traffic on the right hand side. That looks like Edwin there. Edwin moves over to the side of the road. Good job there from Edwin. We're going to keep an eye on these guys here. Seem to be trying to help each other out here in this first sector, as we see Yasko leading these two around. Yasko, obviously leader of the championship, will be battling very, very hard for this season's championship. He's currently locked horns with Edwin in the fight this season. So let's see if Doftinho is going to try and help him out. Maybe the next time round Doftinho will give a tow to Yasko. These guys do definitely seem to be in harmony here as they come under the Corvette bridge, and Yasko definitely appears to be having the better of Doftinho so far on this lap. Yasko's gone about half a second quicker than our Czech driver so far, and Doftinho gets a little bit wide onto the grass there. That's not going to help him at all. Yasko, we've heard rumours that he can do lap times in the 2:06s around this track. So our Bosnian here definitely mastering this track here in, I believe, actually I'm not going to say because I don't want to make a fool of myself, but somewhere in America anyway. Yasko currently driving around in the 666 Lamborghini red and black livery, and this being his customary livery so far in RubbingsRacing. It's brought him a lot of success. He's got a fantastic qualifying record here, has been on pole position unbelievable amount of times, but we've just seen a disconnection. That is unprecedented. We've just had a disconnection there from Yasko. I'm not sure what on earth happened there, but we were just riding with him on board on his qualifying lap and he just disappeared. So that is bizarre. But Yasko, well, he's got enough time to join back to the session. Currently 10 minutes to go, so I'm sure he'll get that sorted out and be back in the lobby as soon as possible there. We just had a couple of guys drop out during that. So anyway, Doftinho pitting from, he hasn't done his lap time yet, so Doftinho brings it into the pits. Dalavan has set the benchmark of a 2:08.5. Ugbar comes over the line. He's not able to improve on that. He does a 2:11 dead from our Flying Dutchman. Where's Archel at the moment? Archel is coming through the final sector of the lap right now. So let's see what Archel can do here in the Mercedes. In the background there we can see a Lamborghini. Is that Nicky NRP here? Let's ride with NRP. No, he's driving in the same livery as Doftinho, so these two definitely teammates. I wonder if there's any setup harmony going on between these two guys. But Nicky is driving the Nissan for the first part of the season. He's actually doing a pretty good job. He's 4th currently in the point standings. He will incur a penalty for changing his car, but hopefully the points gained through a car change will outweigh the loss of points from, or rather the gain of points, sorry, for actually being in a quicker car and having better pace. So Nicky over the line to start his flying lap. Archel goes quickest of the session so far. P1 for Archel, 2:07.5. He's gone 9/10 of a second quicker than Uni Clark at the top. Uni Clark putting it in P2, just ahead of Dalavan. Not much to separate them at all. Bruce Law currently running in P4. Bruce Law was quickest in the pre-season time trials at Donington Park for the GT3 league. It was actually the qualification process to get into this league. He's 32 years old, from Chester. He enjoys the LMPs. He actually won last night, I believe. Did he win last night? Yeah, I know he was up near the front in the LMP2 championship at Bathurst. I was racing in that one, and he actually overtook me in the feature race, which was a shame, but for me anyway. But Bruce Law, very good in the LMPs, very fast in the GT3s, was 3rd in our LMP1 championship last season, and all round very clean, very fast driver. Where's Lionsfoot? Lionsfoot, Scotty. One of our marshals on our Discord. Oh, so we've got a Lamborghini in the wall there, multicoloured Lamborghini in the wall. That doesn't look very pretty.
Disconnected.
And we've had a disconnection, another disconnection here. So currently seems to be some server issues. We may have to think about changing the host come the end of this session, because there does seem to be a problem. So we may have to take the qualifying results from this race from this qualifying and change it up and get somebody else hosting this lobby, because there does seem to be some kind of issue with the server at the moment. Meanwhile, Edwin's gone fastest of anybody so far in this session. Current provisional pole for Edwin V77, our season 1 champion, 2019 season 1 champion, has gone 4/10 quicker than Archil at the moment, but Archil's currently coming through the final couple of corners now, and let's see if Archil can take back provisional pole position here as he throws it out of the last corner, and he's going to get a little bit of slipstream here from a Lamborghini just up the coming up the hill. Might be Nicky or Duftina, I'm not sure. It looks like it's Nicky. Archil over the line, and that is an absolute stonker of a lap time there from Archil. He's gone 8/10 of a second quicker than Edwin, so Archil really flying here in this session at the moment. Great to see Archil pulling it out of the bag there, and 2:06.3. We haven't seen that sort of time even in practice. That is the sort of time that you see in the PC championships. We're currently on PS4 here, RubbingsRacing, and Archil really laying down the benchmark. Edwin coming out on his outlap now, so it'll be a couple of minutes before we see what Edwin can do. Can he respond? Can he get near that time from Archil? That is absolutely well-beaten time there from our man there. But let's see what's going on in the comments at the moment. So Jeff Sharp says, we can hear you, Andy, thank you. Matty Cake says, Road America, circuit of death curbs. Disco McDisco Face says, good luck tonight, guys. Gary Campbell saying, good luck, everyone, especially Nicky. And Disco McDisco Face just asking if Yasko disconnected. He did indeed, Disco. We're just sending him an invite now to get him back into this session. Apologies for the breakup that you just received on the screen there, but we're all back on air now. And Disco McDisco Face says, what's going on? Something definitely fishy occurring here, Disco. It does seem like we've got it sorted at the moment. Currently we've got 13 guys on the track. We've got an additional person in the lobby, so we now got 14 people on the track. We're just missing one person now, and that is the reigning champion and championship leader Yasko VR, and once he's back in we will be all good to go with a full field here for the sprint race of RubbingsRacing's GT3 championship. Currently Archil on provisional pole position, but Edwin V77, our Colombian driver and season 2019 season 1 champion, coming up the hill now. What can he do? Can he get closer to Archil? Can he put it on pole position even here in the Mercedes? Over the line now, Edwin. Not this time around. He's going to get a couple more goes here. We've got just under 5 minutes left to go in our qualifying session for the sprint race here for round 4 of RubbingsRacing's GT3 championship at Road America. Duftina 1.8 seconds off the pace at the moment. Currently 2:08.1 is his fastest lap time. He's P3 currently. Duftina did a great job last season in the GT3s. He's a 20-year-old from Olomouc in the Czech Republic. His favourite classes are the GT3s, the GTEs and the touring cars. And he's a big fan of the Bentley Continental, but ultimately chose this season to go back to his roots and drive for the Lamborghini team. As we see him go a little bit wrong there, coming through turn 3, so that lap is going to be abandoned, but Duftina, I'm sure, will get it together and go again for another lap in just a moment. Let's have a look and see what Dalavan is up to. Dalavan currently running P5 in this session so far. He's finished... he was actually 5th in our pre-season time trial at the beginning of the season, so we know he's got a lot of pace. He's running in 5th in the championship so far this season as well, 92 points. He's 109 points off of our championship leader Yasko at the moment, and he's loves the GT3 cars as well. It's good to see Dalavan here, currently running P5, so he lost 5th place by the looks of it. 5th in the pre-season time trials, 5th in the championship, and 5th in qualifying so far in this session. Let's see, he's just coming into the final few corners now, so can Dalavan stake a claim to pole position here? He's coming into the last turn. Can he nail it? Can he get it right? He wants to stay off the curbs on the inside and not get too much on the exit. Here he comes, nicely negotiated. Maybe a little bit of compromise speed there from Dalavan, trying to stay off the curbs. He's going to come up the hill now onto the pit straight, and what's it going to be? Dalavan over the line. It's an improvement. Fantastic lap there from Dalavan. Puts it up into P3, 2:07.7. Brilliant job there. We see Edwin in the background there exiting the pits. He's going to have one more run to try and get pole position here in this session. Yasko's back in the room, so Yasko, I'm sure, will get a chance to put his car at the front, but how close to the front we just don't know. Will it be pole? Will it be second? Will it be 3rd or 4th for Yasko? We just don't know. We'll have to wait and see as this unfolds. Uni Clark, our man from Swindon, currently running in P6 at the moment. He's our 39-year-old. He was the runner-up in last season's Touring Car Championship here at Rubbings Racing. Led the championship for a lot of the season. Ended up getting overhauled by Luke Bennett right towards the end of that one. His favourite classes are the GT3s and the GTEs, and his favourite tracks are Red Bull and Spa. Very, very different tracks from Road America. So Uni Clark here. Well, you'd expect to, not his favourite track, but I'm sure he's going to go well here. He's very consistently between the front and the mid-pack here. So Uni Clark coming over the line here to complete his lap time. It's not an improvement that time around. He stays P6 for the time being. Let's have a look and see what Traven's doing. Traven currently running in P7 at the moment. Traven... Hold on. Traven was 7th in the pre-season time trials. We saw him actually having some great battles so far this season, namely at the Red Bull Ring, where he managed to keep the championship leader and reigning champion Jasko behind him for about 6 or 7 laps. They were having a great battle. Jasko was putting alongside him, trying to go around the outside through every turn pretty much. Traven was holding his line, holding his nerve. He's not the type of driver to get bullied off the road, is Traven. He's very, very good in close combat. As we see him bring it into the pits from P7, Traven not expecting to go better by the looks of it. Ugbar, our Flying Dutchman, took his, I believe, his only victory in the Rubbings Racing League at this track, actually, Road America. It was in the Formula Renaults for Thursday Night Lights a few months ago now. JR Lockenlobe was commentating for that evening. We're seeing Ugbar currently running P8 in this session. We know he likes the track, having taken the win in the feature race of the Formula Renaults Thursday Night Lights. And but in this sort of caliber, these guys, you've got some of the fastest guys in the world on the PlayStation 4 platform for GT3s in this room. And Ugbar is doing a solid job to be mid-pack at the moment. 8th place, our Flying Dutchman currently. Lionsfoot, where is he at the moment? He's currently running P9 in this session. Scotty is just coming through turn 2 now. And 4 seconds off the pace at the minute. Scotty, our marshal on the Discord. Looks like Nicky's brought it into the pits. Jasko is still out there on a lap time, as is Travis. Dark Ninja coming over the line now. One of our reserve drivers, late entry to this race, comes over the line, puts it P11 for the time being. Travis still out there on a lap time as well. Travis, what's he going to do? Travis has gone 7th place for Travis. He's going to get one more attempt to do another lap here. Looks like Johnny returning for this week, actually. Johnny, massive shout out to Johnny. He's given us a fantastic montage video, which some of you guys may have seen. We're not able to release it just at the moment. We'll hopefully be able to get that out and show people that as soon as possible. But Johnny created a really, really nice promotional video for the Rubbings Racing League. Very, very happy with it, and hopefully we can get that out as soon as possible. Tuggy Bear, currently P15 in the standings at the moment. Tuggy was another late entry to the race for this evening. He's a regular in the LMP2 Championship, and actually sponsored our Dash for Cash event at the end of last year, just before Christmas. Tuggy Bear, one of the great guys here on our team, one of the marshals on the Rubbings Racing Discord. It's good to have him with us here this evening as a late entry reserve driver in our round 4 of our GT3 Championship. So the qualifying session is complete here at Road America. It looks like Edwin's still out there on lap time, as is Jasko. Jasko's a little bit further up on the track. Currently Archil, provisional pole position. What can Jasko do to try and change that as he comes out of the final corner now? Our Bosnian reigning champion, championship leader. Here he comes onto the pit straight, up the hill. Currently P13 in the session. Can he put himself up ahead of Archil in the dying seconds of this session? He can't, but it's P3 for Jasko. Edwin's still out there, currently P2 in this session at the moment, and it looks like Edwin can't do it. So it looks like Archil's going to start on pole position for the sprint race for round 4 of Rubbings Racing's GT3 Championship here at Road America. Edwin, V77, is going to line up alongside him on the front row, with Jasko behind them. Dalavan joins him on the second row. Then we've got Duftino, P5, Bruce Law alongside him, Uni Clark and Travis, P7 and 8. Traven and Ugbar, P9 and 10. It looks like Johnny's done a lap right at the end there to put himself in the mix. So Johnny elevates himself to P9 with a last-ditch effort there to displace Traven for P9. Traven will round out the top 10 here for our qualifying session in this one, and we're just going to wait to scroll down and see who finished below these guys. So Ugbar P11, Lionsfoot lines up alongside him. Then we've got Nicky, disappointing qualifying for Nicky in his first race for the Lamborghini team, but having said that, he hasn't had much time to practice, so Nicky, I'm sure, will be looking to pick it up in the next one. Dark Ninja lines up 14th, our reserve driver. Our 2 reserve drivers this evening, rounding out the field for our sprint race. Guys, we're about to get going. Just want to say thank you to all the guys on the stream. Disco McDiscoface saying what's going on. Matty Cake saying third, good effort for one lap. Yeah, brilliant stuff from Yasko there, doing what he can in the last moments there. We're going to proceed and we're going to get this sprint race underway, guys. Just want to say good luck to everybody on the track this evening. Do us proud, show everybody watching on stream what Rubbings Racing is all about. With clean, fair, fast racing here, or competitive racing rather than fast. Doesn't matter how fast you are here at Rubbings Racing, as long as you're respectful and clean and you look out for the fellow drivers, you're more than welcome to join us here. Anyone interested in joining Rubbings Racing, go to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk, get yourselves involved in the action, become a part of the most authentic sim racing experience on the PlayStation 4 platform. Vicky89 puts a laughing face. Jeff Sharp says looking forward to a great race. Good luck everyone. Jeff, it should be a good one. I'm sure that this first corner is going to be a little bit hairy for these guys. It's a very, very narrow track, so if you get a good start here at Road America, it doesn't guarantee that you're going to gain many places. Because of the narrow nature of the circuit off the start line, it means that there's very little opportunity to actually overtake. But let's see how these guys negotiate it. Anyone bogging down could really cause a detrimental domino effect, if you like, for the guys behind. Gary Campbell saying good... From Alright Turkish, I think it's meant to be a message for Nikki, but it's come out a little bit funny. But here we go. We've got 40 seconds left to go until the lights go out here at Road America for round 4 of Rubbings Racing's GT3 Championship sprint race here tonight. Flaky says just in time. You just made it, Flaky. Well done for joining us just as we're about to go lights out here for the sprint race. Good to have you with us here, Flaky, championship leader in the LMP2 championship, multiple winner of Thursday Night Lights. Disco Faces, good luck guys. We're about to go racing here for the sprint race here for round 4 Rubbings Racing's GT3 championship. When the 5 lights go out, we will be underway. Here we go. And lights are out, we're underway. Terrible start from Archel. Edwin gets him straight off the line there. Looks like the guys behind him didn't get too great of a start, so Archel gets away with that one. He's got Asco on the outside here. Dalavan right behind him. Duftino, Bruce Law, Uniclark, Traven as they come into turn 1. Who's going to be latest on the brakes here? Who's going to be brave? Who's going to go for a move? It looks like Traven a little bit late on the brakes, trying to go up the inside there. Duftino goes very, very wide, almost onto the gravel, just about avoided to gravel. He's going to be very, very careful rejoining the track. It looks like Edwin leads the race. He's got Archel, a little bit of a gap here to Archel. Yasko behind these guys. Then we've got Dalavan, Bruce Law, Uniclark, and is that Traven or Travis? It's Traven. Traven just ahead of Johnny here. Johnny makes a good start up in position. It looks like Ugbar's lost the position off the line here. Lionsfoot moving up a place. We've got Tuggy Bear. Fantastic start from Tuggy Bear. He's up into P11. Can he make a move here on Lionsfoot as they come down the long straight? It looks like he's a little bit too far back to make a gain at the moment. NRP there gaining a couple places off the line. Dark Ninja down a place. Traven. Oh, Travis with a terrible start there. So Edwin leads as we come under the Corvette bridge here. He's got 7/10 of a second at the moment to Archer. What's happened to Yasko? Yasko's dropped right back. Yasko's obviously had a moment there. He might have caught up Dalavan in that little incident as well there. We've got a car off the track in the background. Who's that? Who's that off the track? It looks like it's Uniclark. Uniclark off the track. We've got a yellow flag. Looks like he's got it together though. Travis dives up the inside. Had to take evasive action there to avoid him. And Bruce Law. Terrible first lap from Bruce Law. The championship for Bruce Law this season has gone from absolutely bad to worse. He's had the worst start possible for a driver of his calibre, and it's continuing on again. Bruce Law finds himself in last place on the opening lap here. Meanwhile, back with our leaders, Edwin leads the way by 0.3 of a second. He's got Archel right behind him. Edwin made the most unbelievable start off the line, managed to get the jump on Archel, and Archel is not letting this one go though. He's still right there, still waiting to pounce on Edwin. I'm sure that Merc AMG is going to have a lot of pace when they come up the main straight and down towards the and also the back straight between turn 2 and 3 as well. So we're expecting that Archel's not going to let Edwin run away with this. Two guys in the Mercedes AMG here. These technically teammates, but I'm sure there'll be no team orders in this one this evening. Lee Kendall says, not sure about the Lambo NRP. Well, it's not worked out very well. So, having said that though, Nicky, what a start on his first lap here. He's up into P8 already, so he's gained 6 places here on the first lap. Nicky's absolutely flying at the moment. Lee, I think that could be an inspired choice from Nicky to switch cars here. So far, doing the job at the moment. Travis is next up for Nicky. He's got just under a second to him. So I think Nicky's a good shout actually for switching cars. Could be on for a top 5 here if he can keep this sort of pressure up. But Traven, it's actually Traven in front of him, not Travis. Apologies for that. I keep getting those guys mixed up. I do apologise. It's got the same abbreviation on the scoreboard. So again, I'm sorry for that. But Edwin seems to be holding off Archer at the moment as they come down the back straight towards turn 3. Looks like Edwin's got the straight line speed to fend him off at the moment. Clearly Archer's got a higher downforce setup than our Colombian driver, but it's on the straights that Edwin's really running off into the distance, and then as you come through this tight twisty section, it's clear that Archer's got a lot more grip and more confidence in that car. And at the moment it looks like both these guys are on the hard tyres. The track temperature 120 degrees Fahrenheit. That is around 45 degrees Celsius or 50 degrees Celsius, somewhere between those two. As we see Edwin get a little bit loose there on the exit of that corner, and he's got onto the grass, just about holding it together here. And this is one of the hardest corners on the Project Cars 2 game. This one, it's really demanding on the left rear tyres. But looks like they're okay for the time being. Edwin holding him off, but Archer right in the slipstream here. He's going to close right onto the back of him, bumper to bumper here, as they come down this flat out section at the back end of the track here. Edwin going defensive. Archer's going to have to go around the long way if he wants to get this done. Looks like Edwin's got it for now. Archer having to take to the grass there to avoid Edwin and avoid contact there. So Edwin with a little bit of breathing space. Archer's going to have to regroup and go again here. Edwin holding him off. Good defensive driving from these guys. Just says M22 VJ says NRP cheat for car change. No, you just get a penalty, so it'll be a points penalty. In fact, no, NRP doesn't get a points penalty because you do get one free car change per season at RubbingsRacing's GT3s. So you can change your car once per season without any penalty, and then after that there will be a penalty. There will be a penalty awarded for additional car changes. Disco Face says AMGs are gone. Yep, they're absolutely flying off into the distance at the moment. Disco. It looks like Yasko's winning the battle of best of the rest at the moment. He's currently pulled out a gap here to Dalavan. What's going on here in the battle for 9th place? We've got a hell of a battle as they come down the pit straight here. Looks like Duftino is leading this pack, or is it NRP? NRP just about holding off Lionsfoot. Lionsfoot around the outside there of Duftino, and Travis is slots it back in behind Duftino. These guys, 5 of them, all battling over 9th place here. Fantastic racing. 8th place even, sorry, should I say. NRP leads this pack. Lionsfoot, Duftino, Travis, and Uniclark here. Uniclark and Travis going side by side as they come down this long straight between turn 2 and 3. Can Travis hold on, or is Uniclark going to go around the outside? They're going to stay side by side. It looks like Uniclark's got the better of that one for now, but good driving there from those boys. And it does look like Travis is going to go for a move again. Goes for a dive. Uniclark leaves the door wide open, and Travis going to run him out of road there. Travis up into P11. In the meantime there, Lionsfoot looks like he's still holding off Duftino, and NRP's managed to pull the gap to these guys while these guys fight it out. Nicky's running off a little bit into the sunset off of these guys, but Lionsfoot still with his mirrors absolutely full of Duftino, the championship leader's teammate, as we see a lock up there from Duftino, but holding it together just about at the moment. Good driving there from these guys. Great racing here in the GT3 championship for RubbingsRacing, the staple of RubbingsRacing, one of our showpiece division. And it looks like we've had a retiree very early in the race so far, so I'm not sure who that was, but someone has pulled out of the race. That might be Tuggy Bear, I believe. Looks like it's Tuggy Bear, as we see some side-by-side action here between Duftino and Lionsfoot. Looks like Lionsfoot had to run off onto the grass, and in the meantime that's going to allow Travis to move up into P10 there. That was team radio there from Scotty saying that he didn't like that move there from Duftino. Questionable. I'm sure it'll be coming in the stewards panel, and we see contact there. It looks like Lionsfoot and Uniclark coming together there, and we've got somebody out of the race as well. Lionsfoot pulls off onto the side, so it looks like he's waiting for somebody. I'm not sure who that was, but contact there.
Tino, is he gone?
Duftino's pulled out of the race, Scotty, so you don't have to wait for him. Keep going, mate. So it looks like Duftino there retiring from the race on lap 4. That is not good form there from Duftino. We don't I mean, you know, it's accidents happen in racing, but at the same time we don't really appreciate it when people pull out of the race, you know, especially on lap 4. It's a long race. But I'm sure that Duftino will stick around for the feature race, but he's missed a trick there because he will have to start at the back, having not completed half distance in this race. He will have to start from the back of the field for the feature. I'm sure Duftino is up to the task. We'll keep an eye and see what's going to happen for the feature. Meanwhile, the battle at the front is Edwin, currently with just under a second here to Archel in second place. Archel took pole position dominantly in qualifying, was 0.8 of a second to the good of Edwin, but Edwin, with the fantastic start at the beginning of this race, managed to get him off the line, absolutely shot off the line, and has the lead to show for it at the moment. We saw them go side by side, wheel to wheel, a couple of laps ago, and it looks like Archel's managed to close up onto the back of him after the little contact that we saw in that little exchange, in which Archel managed to drop back, put a wheel onto the grass, and went very, very wide at the corner that they're just coming up to, actually. So I'm sure that Archel will be aware of that, and will be thinking about that as he goes for a move here on Edwin, as we're approaching the 9th minute here of this sprint race session. This is a 20-minute sprint race with no mandatory pit stop to those of you just joining us, and so it's basically just a sprint to the line, and it's all about the pace here in this one. These guys have some of them have opted for the hard tyres in this race simply because of the heat of the track. It's very, very difficult to keep grip in these sorts of conditions, but clouds are forming over the top of the circuit, which means that the track is going to get a little bit colder there, and Edwin trying to duck out of the slipstream there of Archel. We know Edwin's got a better straight line speed than Archel. He's clearly got that Merc AMG set up with less downforce than Archel has, and as you can see there, clearly running off from Archel down the straights, but it's on the corners in the tight twisty middle sector of this Road America circuit that you can see Archel really coming back at our Colombian driver. And Edwin knows this sprint race is going to be a hell of an opportunity to gain some points on our championship leader Jasko V, our reigning champion Jasko. Currently has the lead in the championship by 16 points, Jasko on 201, Edwin on 185. Edwin knows that if it stays as it is, himself in first, Jasko third, he will gain 8 points on the championship leader, and bear in mind that also he will get a bonus point if he gets the fastest lap. So if Edwin can get the fastest lap and a victory in this race, then he will gain 9 points on the championship leader. With only 16 between these two guys, that's quite a big gain there in the championship battle. But Edwin knows the job's far from done yet in this sprint race. He's still got to keep Archel behind him. Archel, we see getting a little bit loose there onto the grass. That's not going to help him one bit. We can see Archel, a pattern is emerging here in this sprint race. Archel closes the gap, gets right up behind Edwin, but then the dirty air that we see, especially around this circuit, the turbulent air from the back of these cars really does seem to be affecting the car that's chasing in this one, and we've seen it time and time again so far in this sprint race. Archel closes up, but then the turbulent air just gets too much and he ends up making a mistake. Edwin currently doing a grand job here in the sprint race, leads the race. 1.5 seconds now is the gap. We're just over half distance here in this sprint race. Let's have a look back and see what's going on with these guys in the background. It looks as though Ugbar coming under some pressure now from Traven. Traven has got a penalty from the race director. We're not sure what the nature of that penalty is. We will have a look at that as we reach the closing stages of this race. But at the moment, Traven making very, very large inroads here. So he goes onto the grass a little bit there, trying to distract our Flying Dutchman in the mirrors. Has a little look. Ugbar's not going to be distracted by that. Ugbar, very experienced racer here on Project Cars 2. Very clean, very fair sim racer. As we see Traven trying to pull alongside Ugbar. Ugbar's going to leave the door open here, but he's going to defend the inside. And can Traven go around the outside of the last corner? That would be a brave move. He can pull that off, and he has done. Fantastic driving there from Traven. Brilliant from Ugbar as well. Traven knew he could trust Ugbar on the inside, and Traven drives right round him. So our Flying Dutchman will not like that one bit, as Traven goes very, very defensive here as they come towards the first corner. It looks like Traven's got the straight line speed to hold on there from Ugbar. So Ugbar there has gone for a high downforce setup, evidently there. The console says, great move from Traven. Really was fantastic. Jeff Sharp says that hold on, Jasko has been off the pace. Yeah, console. Basically, Jasko, for some reason, for whatever reason, doesn't seem to have the pace that we usually see from him here at Road America. He hasn't really had any incidents in this race. He's been gradually dropping off of Edwin and Archel as the race has unfolded here. So these guys at the front clearly have got what it takes, as we see Traven again having to go very, very defensive there from Ugbar coming into turn 3, and gets a little bit out of shape. Ugbar not able to capitalise. He just had his car parked in exactly the right place there, did Traven, as they come under the Corvette bridge, and at the moment does seem to have the position nailed down. Edwin is pulling away here from Archel at the front. Last time around he was 0.8 of a second faster, so Edwin absolutely flying. Archel was our pole sitter for the sprint race, but so far has not been able to answer the pace of our Colombian driver. 2019 season 1 champion here, Edwin, doing a grand job here at the front of the field. But Archil so far on this lap has gained a little bit. He's gained a couple of tenths in that middle sector there, so Edwin's going to have to keep his eyes out. We're almost 2/3 of the way through this sprint race here, ladies and gentlemen. 20-minute sprint race, no mandatory pit stop. It is a sprint to the line. Flaky says, wow, it's possible to go around the outside without, well, that might be a little bit of a dig there from Flaky at some fellow racers, but we'll leave that at that and let them deal with that one, because that's none of my business. So Edwin comes down the pit straight. He's currently got a lead of 1.6 seconds to Archil. Yasko dropping off of these guys. Championship leader, not his best track evidently here as we see him coming over the line. Currently 6 seconds off the pace. He's managed to shake off Dalavan. So Yasko looks pretty set for a podium, barring any kind of major catastrophes on this lap. Last time around, Edwin and Archil both a second faster than our Bosnian championship leader. So Yasko, for whatever reason, really struggling here this evening. Jeff Sharp says track could be suiting the Mercs more than the Lambos. Jeff, I think it definitely is. The first sector here is all about straight line speed and power, and as we can see, the Lambo's pretty handy in a straight line, but that Mercedes is absolutely mega. Although having said that, I would expect the Mercs to be struggling a little bit in that middle sector, but they've clearly been set up expertly by Edwin and Archil. So hats off to those guys for getting those things absolutely flying here this evening. Jeff Sharp there, Stealth Sheep, he's actually one of our regulars in the TC1 League on Tuesday nights, and he's got a couple of wins so far in the TC1 League in the short time that he's been part of it. So good to have Jeff Sharp's input here in the comments. One of the faster guys here in the RubbingsRacing League, as we see Yasko getting a little bit of a lock up there, but keeping it together at the moment. Edwin has pulled out the gap a little bit so far on this lap to Archil. 1.8, it's gone from 1.5 to 1.8, so Edwin just managing that gap at the moment. And what's going on with Ugbar and Traven? It looks like Ugbar's got back past Traven, so clearly these guys having a bit of a ding dong, and they're still very, very close on the track. Traven not letting this one go, still sticking with our Flying Dutchman, not letting him run away. Flaky says Edwin is doing a really great job holding Archil behind. Well, Edwin's not just holding him behind Flaky, he's actually pulling away at certain parts of the track. You can see that down in the middle section of the track, Archil's homing in, and then down the straights, Edwin's absolutely shooting off into the distance. Clearly Archil running a higher downforce setup, whereas Edwin opting for the straight line speed. But Edwin V77 still doing a great job here. Just under 5 minutes left to go in this sprint race for RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship, round 4 here at Road America. Thank you everybody again for sticking with us here on the YouTube channel. Great to have you all with us this evening. Edwin doing a fantastic job. Currently got 2-second lead here to Archil. A consistent and workmanlike performance here from Edwin. Got Archil off the line, made a phenomenal start at the beginning of this race, and has not looked back since. Archil a couple of times has got pretty close, has looked to the outside and the inside, pulled alongside him at one point, but each time Edwin valiantly holding him off and maintaining that P1 for the time being. Yasko not able to go with these guys, still dropping back, now almost 7 seconds behind these front two guys. Ugbar still having a good battle here with Traven. These guys very, very close. Ugbar still holding him off for the time being. And what's Bruce Law up to? Bruce Law and Uniclark look like they've been very, very close. And Uniclark can look to the inside here of Bruce Law. Bruce Law's going to leave the door wide open as they come into turn 3. And Uniclark puts it up the inside. Fantastic move there from Uniclark up into P9. But Bruce Law's going to look to get a nice exit here out of turn 3 and stop nicely into the slipstream. In the meantime, they've got Traven right behind these guys as well, looking to get involved in this action maybe as they come under the Sargento Bridge. Underneath there's a little pass there that guys walking around the track can cross over to the other side of the track, and it looks like for the time being Uniclark's got the move done, so it looks like he's going to maybe hope to pull that gap. But having said that, Uniclark gets a little bit loose on the curb there. Bruce Law and Travis are going to be looking to get all up in his mirrors as soon as possible. Ugbar still holding on for P6 ahead of Traven. Great driving there from Ugbar. He's pulled the gap here to Traven in this last couple of sectors here. So it looks like it's going to rage on though. Still not too much to separate these guys. And yeah, well, Gary Campbell says, fantastic community as always, Andy. Thank you, Gary, very kind of you. It looks like Edwin's being closed in on a little bit now by Archil actually. Having said that, it might have been the concertina effect on the timing board. Still looks like it's about 1.8 seconds, so very consistent job from Edwin so far in this session. Archil sticking to the task. He knows that one little mistake from Edwin will result in him taking the lead of this race, and with it potentially the win as well. So Archil not giving up hope here in this sprint race. But Edwin going for the championship here in this one. Oh, as we see Archil getting loose there on the exit of turn 1, and that is going to massively hamper his chances of taking the win in this sprint race. It looks now like Edwin's got too much of a gap here. He's going to have gained at least half a second with Archil's little excursion there going through turn 1. So it looks like this is going to be your finishing order. We're on the penultimate lap here of the sprint race. Edwin's got a lap and a half technically to go until he crosses the line. He's got just over 2 seconds here to Archil, so barring any kind of major incidents for Edwin in the last couple of laps, he should have this one in the bag. What's going on in the back of the field? Looks like Ugbar has shaken off the challenge here of Traven. He's got a second now of a gap. Bruce Law has got back past Traven here for P9. Sorry, he's got back past Uniclark, and Travis is also hunting him down now. So Travis and Bruce both getting past Uniclark now. Travis is going to be all over Bruce's mirrors in these last couple of laps. Bruce has got about just over a second here to Travis, so it'll be interesting to see if Travis can home in on him in these last lap and a half here. Thank you to the guys watching us on the stream. Round 4 of RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship. Stay with us for the feature race. It'll be double the laps of whatever we complete in the sprint race with a mandatory pit stop, and we're going to go off into the sunset for that one here. So the floodlights are going to have to be brightly switched on here at Road America for that one. It's going to be a fascinating feature race. The track temperature is going to get colder and colder as the race progresses, so the challenge for the drivers is going to be whether to stay on soft tyres or hard tyres, what to start on. It's going to be a fascinating proposition here for the feature race, and we're just hearing a team radio there that Edwin has picked up a 1 second penalty somewhere on this lap, so this is going to be an absolutely fascinating finish here to the sprint race. He's currently got a 1.3 second lead to Archil as they come over the line to start the final lap. So can Edwin hold on for the victory here, or can Archil snatch it from him? It's been Edwin's all the way so far in this one. He's absolutely driven fantastically, led the whole way from start to finish so far. And can he hold on this last lap? He's got a 1 second penalty, so he needs to keep it together. If he lets Archil within 1 second, then Archil will take the win. Archil having not led any of this race except on the grid, and Edwin here with it all to lose in the final part of this race. He's got everything to gain in this one in terms of the championship. Currently he will get an 8-point swing on Yasko. The gap at the championship, Yasko leads it by 16 points. So it will be 8 points after this race if Edwin can take the win. It looks like he's had a good first sector here. Edwin matching Archil through the first part of this lap. A little bit of a twitch there coming out of turn 3, but it looks like it hasn't cost him any time. Under the Corvette bridge, currently 1.5 seconds. Archil needs to gain half a second on him in this last half a lap if he wants to win this race, but it looks like Edwin has got this one all done and dusted as long as he doesn't lose the car or have a spin or something. But Archil's never going to give up hope. This is the part of the track where Archil is gaining massively on Edwin due to the higher downforce setup that he is running. But Edwin here doing a fantastic job. We're on the final lap here. This is going to be a hell of a show here, and it looks like Archil's pulled right onto him here. It's just over a second the gap, 1.1 as they come under the bridge towards the final sector of the lap here. This is the flat out section at the end of the lap, and it looks like Archil's gone very wide over the curve onto the grass, but he didn't cost him too much by the looks of it. 1.1 seconds between these guys. Edwin with a 1 second penalty, Archil with no penalty at all. He's had an absolute hell of a corner through there. He's closed right up. It was under a second for just a moment there, but you saw Edwin managing to get a better exit out of the corner, and this is all down to these last couple of corners now. Edwin V77 has the lead. It's all about this exit. Is it going to be enough here? It looks like it might be. Edwin, we know, has got the better straight line speed. The gap's just over a second here as they come up to the pit straight. It looks like Edwin's going to do it. Edwin will hold on to take the sprint race here. No, he's not. He's not. Archil nips it at the final moment of the race. It looks like Archil's taken it. Edwin with the 1 second penalty there on the final lap of the race has gifted the victory to Archil. Archil takes the sprint race here. Yasko completes the podium in 3rd place. Dalavan 4th. Looks like Johnny in a race by himself there finishes in 5th place. Traven is going to come over in P6 after a great battle with Ugbar. Looks like Ugbar must have had a mistake there on the last lap. He drops way back. NRP picks up P7. Great driving there from NRP. Started 14th. Finishes in 6th with Traven's penalty. Fantastic there from Nicky. Ugbar is going to come over the line in 8th place here. Flaky says, what a finish. Congratulations. Brilliant stuff there from Archel, sticking to the task, managing to finish within a second of our Season 1 champion, Edwin. So Archel, hats off to him for sticking with it there and staying right up to his gearbox. Edwin will be absolutely gutted after that one for losing it when it was within his grasp for the entire race. Lionsfoot comes over the line in P11. Travis in completes the top 10. It looks like Dark Ninja's going to come around to complete the track in 13th position. Duftinho, obviously a retiree in that one.
Great driving there.
So disappointment there for Edwin as he loses the race at the last second of that one. But looks like Archel takes the win by virtue of Edwin's 2-second penalty there. So Edwin got an additional 1-second penalty at the end of that race. Be sure to stay with us here for the feature race. We'll get it started in just a moment's time. We're going to give these guys a 10-minute break here so they can get their drinks sorted, have a cigarette, go to the toilet, all that stuff. We'll be back with you very, very shortly. We'll catch you guys in a bit. See you very soon. Ladies and gentlemen, we are moments away from the start of the feature race for round 4 of RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship. Thank you everybody for sticking with us on the stream. We're very, very nearly about to get going. We have got 15 of the best drivers on the PlayStation 4 platform in GT3 cars currently on the grid here for this race. It's going to be a reverse grid based on the results of the sprint race. So all of the guys who finished at the front in the sprint race are going to have to be coming through the back of the pack if they want to win this one, or if they want to finish high up in this one. The guys who finish towards the back will be starting at the front. So likewise, it'll be interesting to see if these guys can defend from the so-called faster guys coming through behind them. And it's going to create some great racing. As long as these guys can keep it clean, we're expecting some fantastic action here this evening for the feature race. It's going to be double the laps of whatever we completed in the sprint race. It was 10 laps that we completed of racing in the sprint, so it will be 20 in this one plus a formation lap at the start. So these guys are going to go around in formation and just to get themselves into order to start off with, and then at the end of the lap, once they come out of the last corner, the leader will dictate the pace and they will go as and when they want. So everyone else will have to react to the pace of the leader as they get going here. So we've got the order here written down on the sheet. So once these lights go out, these guys will roll off the line just a little bit, just to avoid being disqualified, and then we'll get in the order that we're meant to be starting for this feature race. So Dark Ninja, could you please move to the front? Dark Ninja, you're going to lead everyone around, please. Traven, you're going to go around in second. Lionsfoot, could you get on the back of Traven for me, please? Travis, could you pull up onto the back of Lionsfoot? Uniclark, could you get onto the back of Travis, please? Bruce Law, you're behind Uniclark. Then Ugbar, can you get behind Bruce Law? NRP, can you get behind Ugbar, please? Johnny, you're behind Nicky. Then Dalavan, can you get behind Johnny? Yasko, you're behind Dalavan. Edwin, you're behind Yasko. And Archer, if you can get to the back for me, please. And in fact, no, hold on. Duftinho and its PT are behind. Yeah, you've already got yourselves in order, guys. So good job. So everyone seems to be in order here for the sprint race. We're on the formation lap. Welcome to everyone watching live on YouTube. Thank you for joining us for our feature race. This is round 4 of the championship for RubbingsRacing's GT3s. These guys getting their tyres nice and warm here as they come down the back straight between turns 2 and 3. This time, next lap around this part of the track, these guys are going to be going absolutely hammer and tongs. I'm sure there'll be some moves coming through the turns 2 and 3 when you're going to be heavy on the brakes. In fact, turns 1, 2 and 3 are going to be hot zones for some overtakes here for the entirety of this race. It's going to be a long, hard race, this one, 45 minutes or so. It's going to be a 21 lap race around Road America. It's a very long lap, just over 2 minutes it takes to drive a GT3 car around this one. They're in for a very, very challenging one, and the track is going to get a little bit colder as the race progresses. It's going to be, well, it's 124 degrees track temperature Fahrenheit at the moment. By the end of the race it's going to be nowhere near that. So these guys will be on knife's edges trying to keep those tyres warm as the race gets into the closing stages. So currently leading us around for the formation lap, Dark Ninja, reserved for this race, late entry into this championship race. His name's Cole. He is a regular in the comments here for our races this season. It's great to have him on the track finally. Cole Houghton, some of you will recognise him in the comments section, and he's going to be leading us around here for our formation lap. He's going to be the one to dictate the pace as they pull out of the last corner. Traven is behind him on the track, then Scotty is third, Travis behind these guys. It's going to be a hell of a start, guys. It's going to be fantastic to watch as they come into the last sector of the lap now, and they're going to form up coming out of the last corner. So it's quite a small formation zone. The track's very narrow in these parts, so the formation will be coming out of the last corner, and then once you get to the bridge just before the pit wall, the track is green and Dark Ninja can put his foot down at any point he wishes. Thank you everybody for joining us live on the stream. It is odds on the right, please. Odds on the right, because that's the inside. So odds on the inside on the right, evens on the left, please. Because so the pole position has an advantage by being on the inside essentially. Here we go, the guy's pulling into formation nice and early. That's what we want to see. We're coming out of the last turn now, guys. We're almost about to go green here for the feature race, and when Dark Ninja gets to the bridge, not before, he can put his foot down and the track will be green. There's no passing the car directly in front of you before the line unless they are markedly slower than the pace being set by the leader. So Dark Ninja, the track is green. You can go anytime you want, buddy. And it looks like we're underway. The track is live for a feature race here for RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship, round 4 here at Road America. Fantastic bike there from Dark Ninja. He's absolutely left them for dead off the line. Looks like we've got 3 wide in the background here. Looks like Lions are going up the inside, Traven on the outside here. Uniclark is looking up the inside as well. Uniclark dives up the inside into P3. Looks like he's pushing Traven out wide there. Bruce Law having to take evasive action there towards the inside. It looks like we've got somebody off in the background. Travis onto the grass. It looks like Nicky's made an excellent start. Nicky up into P6, looking to the inside here. Currently in P6 at the moment. It looks like Uniclark's been pushed out by Ugbar. Ugbar, Flying Dutchman. Fantastic start here from Ugbar. He's up into P4, P5 now. It looks like Uniclark's got the better run on him. But we've got 3 wide in the background here. It looks like, oh my goodness. Was that Johnny there? No, it wasn't. That was Bruce Law getting onto the grass a little bit. No, it wasn't Bruce Law. It was actually Ugbar. And there's contact there coming into turn 3. It looks like Lionsfoot and Bruce Law coming together. And in the meantime, Uniclark's lost bags of time. And we've got a spinner. Archil spun on the exit of turn 3. Yellow flag. Archil spun. He goes to the back of the pack there. Disastrous first lap here for Archil. In the meantime, Dark Ninja absolutely running off. Oh no, he's lost it. Dark Ninja, as I say that, and somebody follows him into the barriers. That looks like that might be that was Traven there in the background going off. Dark Ninja in the wars already. He's down to P13. Disastrous start there for Cole. He's just about getting it together. He's passed by Traven there, and Archill's going to go past him as well. So Dark Ninja to the back of the field. In the meantime, Lionsfoot leads the pack round on the opening lap. He's in hot pursuit from Bruce Law. Bruce Law just 0.4 of a second behind him. Oakbar not letting these guys. Bruce is right onto the grass there. You see these heavy fuel loads really catching these guys out. They're used to these cars being a lot lighter going around this circuit, and they wouldn't have done this sort of fuel load since practice, maybe about a couple of hours ago. So in the meantime, it looks like Lionsfoot's pulled out the gap here, just over a second to Bruce. Ugbar breathing down Bruce's neck. We've got NRP made a fantastic opening lap here. He's gained a few places. Up into 4th is Nicky, and Johnny is coming under pressure now from Dalavan here. Dalavan right up his chuffs to come out of the last turn. Can Dalavan try and make a move here down the pit straight? He's got Yasko in tow, and it looks like Edwin also following these guys through. Edwin has brought it into the pits. The man who finished second in the sprint race was very unlucky to lose it from penalty there to Archer. He's in the pits, so he's first to blink there. It looks like we're going to go 3 wide coming down the pit straight. It looks like we've got Johnny up the inside. Johnny's going to make a move here coming into turn 1. And it looks like he's got the position, and Yasko's going to follow him through as well. So Dalavan down 2 positions there down the pit straight into turn 1. And could he find himself open attack here to another one here? Uniclark's heading to the inside, and he's going to make the move. Uniclark up into P7. Terrible start there from Dalavan, and Ugbar's lost the car. Ugbar's going slowly on the exit of turn 3. That'll be a yellow flag there, I'm sure. Ugbar's down to P9. Disastrous there for the Flying Dutchman. So Uniclark there up a few positions. Yasko absolutely flying here on the opening couple of laps, and he's looked to the inside here of Johnny. Can he make a move on Johnny? No, Johnny's going to slam the door there. Johnny's a very, very tricky customer. One of the hardest, fairest races you'll ever see. And it absolutely shuts the door there on our championship leader and reigning champion. And oh, Uniclark's running to the back of Yasko. Oh, there's contact there. Massive amounts of contact. It looks as though, who's that's got caught up in that? That is, Dalavan's got caught up in it. So Yasko, Uniclark and Dalavan all in the wars there. Yasko's got it going again. So Yasko loses out minimally in relation to what he could have done there. But it looks like Dalavan and Uniclark there struggling at the moment, and somebody else has gone off as well. That is, who is that? That is oh dearie me, this is all going off here. Duftino looks like he's got caught up in an instant there as well, and Ugbar, that was Ugbar on the grass on the right hand side. So Ugbar dropping back. Chaos here in the opening couple of laps here for the feature race, as we see all of the guys who finished at the front in the sprint race trying to come back through the pack. And some of them getting it all wrong so far in this one. So, front of the field, we've got Lionsfoot, totally oblivious to all of this going on behind him. He's got a second lead here to NRP as they come towards the final corner to complete lap 2 here, or lap 3 should I say, of this feature race. NRP looking very, very close, looking like he wants that position. NRP almost loses the car there on the exit, just about gets it together. You saw a little twitch there as he got the power down. Maybe that traction control needs to be raised up a little bit, because that was a bit of a slip there, but he lost a bit of time on the exit. Lionsfoot leads just over a second to Nicky. Johnny not letting these guys out of his sight in 3rd position at the moment here. Johnny made the fantastic montage video, sent it to me the other day, of his highlights in the GT3s, and not just his but a few others as well. And it's great to see. Johnny is one of those guys who loves to get involved in wheel-to-wheel combat. He's very clean and very fair, but aggressive, and does not let anything go when he's racing wheel-to-wheel, let's just say that. Bruce Law's dropped off of these guys. P4 at the moment, seems to have made a mistake there on that last lap. He lost 7 seconds to the guys at the front on lap 3. So Bruce Law falling back into the clutches of XPT. XPT, what a start. Started at the back of the field. He's up into P5 already. So XPT absolutely flying. Yasko trying to recover from the contact with Dalavan and Uniclark. He's in P6 at the moment. Dalavan has picked off Duftino and Ugbar here for P7, but Duftino's going to look to the inside here at turn 3. He thinks better of that one. Dalavan's up in position. P7. Duftino trying to follow him around here as they come up towards the Corvette bridge. A little bit of a wobble there from Dalavan coming out of that corner, and Duftino's going to look to the inside, but thinks better of that one for the time being. So it's as you were at the moment. Uniclark trying to recover from the contact there on the opening couple of laps. Edwin and Archil have both been in the pits, running P12 and 13 at the moment. And once these guys at the front come into the pits, these guys will play themselves into contention. Edwin with some good pace here at the moment. Archil a little bit off of these guys. So at the moment it looks like Edwin's big contender for podium position here this evening, and Yasko's going to need to get his foot down if he wants to eliminate that threat of Edwin. In the meantime, Lionsfoot and Nicky going to go side by side here, maybe, no, not quite, but these guys, while they fight it out, are going to find themselves open to a challenge here from Johnny. Johnny's closing in on these guys, no end here. It's just a second separates these top 3 as they come through this final sector here. Nicky trying to distract Scotty, weaving, bobbing and weaving here as they come into the final turn, trying to force Scotty into a mistake, but Scotty having absolutely none of it, holding his nerve and holding his position and his line. Both of these guys with their lights on, letting each other know that they're intent on keeping or maintaining or gaining that position, depending on who you are in this situation. Lionsfoot defending, Nicky attacking here as they come down the main straight, and Nicky with the straight line speed there. Looks like Scotty's got a higher downforce setup here than Nicky, or maybe it's just a slipstream effect. You just don't know. We don't know what these guys have said to their engineers before the start of this race. but it looks like Lionsfoot for now holding on to the position. Nicky though very close in tow. Looks like Scotty there with the better exit out of turn 2 though, so Nicky's going to have to wait a little while before he gets this position done. He's not going to get it down here, he's too far away at the moment. In the meantime, Johnny making a mistake there in the background, so dropping off of these guys just a little bit. One guy we've got to look out for though is It's PT, currently running in P3. He's cleared Bruce Law, and he's definitely closing in on these guys. Last time around, this It's PT 2 seconds quicker than NRP and Johnny, so he's absolutely flying at the minute, and I'm sure these guys will be looking out for him in their mirrors very, very soon. That is a phenomenal lap time actually from It's PT. I've got to give credit there. He's done a 2:09 with a full fuel tank near enough, so he's definitely one to look out for in this one. Doing a grand old job here. It's PT, late entry to this race, this feature race. Didn't race in the sprint, had to start at the back of the field for this feature race. You cannot be overemphasised how well he's done in the opening couple of laps here. Really has got his head down and made his way through the pack. Bruce Law though not letting him go at the moment. Bruce Law sticking to the back of him like glue. We see a little bit of twitch there from Bruce Law coming out of that long right hander. Very, very hard on the tyres that one, but he does just about keep it together. You've got to remember that when you've got the full fuel tank, that tank slappers can be the end of your race. But Bruce Law there with a fantastic save, just about holding on to it. In the meantime, Nicky looking to the inside here of Lionsfoot. Can he make the move? It looks like Lionsfoot can leave the door wide open, and Nicky's up into P1. A little bit of contact, banging wheels, but it looks like Nicky's up into P1, and Lionsfoot's going to find him open into an attack here from Johnny. Johnny's going to look to the inside, but Lionsfoot's going to... Looks like he leaves the door open. Johnny's not close enough this time around. Nicky, NRP up into P1, leading a feature race, not for the first time in the opening few laps of a RubbingsRacing GT3 Championship race this season. Finds himself at the top of the field. At the meantime, it looks like Lionsfoot's got his moves absolutely full here of Johnny. Lionsfoot's onto the grass, and Johnny's going to move up the inside. Johnny is up into second place, Scotty back into third, and all the time It's PT closing in on these guys while they fight it out here for the lead. And Nicky there with the move, made it when it counted on Scotty. He knew he had to get it done, otherwise he was going to find himself open to Johnny. So Nicky making a move when he needed to, finds himself in P1. He's got just over half a second here to Johnny. Johnny followed him through. Lionsfoot there down 2 places on lap 5, and It's PT ever homing in these guys. You can see he's visibly closing in on them as they come down the back straight. And Bruce Law not able to go with him. Yasko is making some gains after losing all that time in his collision with Uni Clark and Dalavan. He's currently running P6 at the moment, is Yasko, just in front of Duftinho. Not shaking off Duftinho. Duftinho showing strong pace at the moment, it has to be said. He's doing 2:09s at the moment, matching our championship leader. So Duftinho definitely one to look out for. 9 seconds off the lead. Yasko likewise 8 seconds off the lead. So these guys could come into play at some point in the Lamborghinis. I'm sure they'll be looking to get their revenge on the 2 Mercedes of Edwin and Archel. So these two could potentially work together and become teammates here in this feature race. I know there's technically no teams in RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship, but maybe some loyalty going on, we just don't know. In the meantime, looks like Johnny's made the move here on NRP, but Johnny goes very, very wide there and go over the curve onto the grass. It looks like Lionsfoot did exactly the same thing, but it looks as though Nicky's got the move back on Johnny. Johnny with the wide exit on that corner, got all the way onto the grass, got all out of shape, and Nicky back into P1, but he goes a little bit wide there, a little bit of curve on the exit, and Johnny's going to slot right into the slipstream, bumper to bumper here. Nicky just about holding on. Lionsfoot mentioning something about that turn back there, and he's saying that the sun is right in his eyes there in the bottom part of the circuit, so this could be an extra element for these guys to have to contend with here. The sun is absolutely just burning over the horizon and causing some very, very difficult visibility issues here as they come down the pit straight to complete lap 6 onto lap 7. NRP with the lead, but Johnny's in the slipstream, absolutely reeling him in here towards the end of the straight. It looks as though NRP's got it at the moment as they come into turn 1, hard on the brakes. It's PT still doing a fantastic job. He's got past Lionsfoot, but it looks like he's gone a little bit wide there through the turn 1, and Lionsfoot will gain that position back. But all the time over these last few laps, It's PT has been reeling these guys in. He's been closing by a second, 2 seconds each lap, and he finds himself just 2 seconds off the lead now. Nicky knows he's going to have to get the hammer down if he wants to stay ahead of these guys. It's PT on a mission at the moment in this feature race. We're on lap 7 here of the feature race for round 4 of RubbingsRacing GT3 Championship. As we see SPT go for a dive here up the inside of turn 3, and Scotty's going to leave the door wide open. Looks like SPT's going to run him out of road there, and SPT is up into P3. Good move there, very late on the brakes, but fair and clean. Lionsfoot not fighting him too hard for that one, knew it was going to happen eventually. SPT up into P3, now he can chase down the leaders. Johnny's got back past Nicky again, so Nicky with an error there coming through the middle sector. He finds himself looking at the back of that Porsche once again here. Johnny having a fantastic feature race. Johnny obviously missed the last couple of races, let us know about it. It was we let it slide, but it looks like Johnny making up for his absence here with an absolute banger in the feature race. He's got past Nicky again. These two trading moves at the moment, but Nicky is going to be very, very wary of what's going on behind him, because he has got It's PT closing on him all the time. We're going to ride on board with It's PT and see what he's seeing. Let's see if that sun has gone below the horizon yet. It looks like it might have done actually, so the sunlight shouldn't be too much of a problem here now. It looks like it's setting here in this part of America here this evening, but Nicky here and It's PT now closing back onto Johnny again, and Johnny's lost it. Oh, we got a yellow flag coming through the second to last corner. Johnny has lost control, so yellow flag. Johnny drops back. He looks like he's going to lose a place to Lionsfoot, Yasko and Bruce Law, and we're just hearing on a team radio there that Johnny with a very unsafe re-entry there to the track. We didn't see that on the stream, but Johnny just about getting it together. Looks like Duftino's run into the back of Johnny while he was rejoining the track. Ugbar's gained a position. Ugbar up into P6. Oh no, Duftino's not going to be happy with that. It looks like he came together with Johnny as he was re-entering the track. Uni Clark pits, as does Ugbar, so some guys coming in for their mandatory stop. So in the meantime, it looks like It's PT in all of that has got past Nicky for P1. So It's PT, what an opening to this race. He finds himself with the lead of the race on lap 8 of 21 here for the feature race. He's gone from last to first here in the first few laps, and granted there have been some pit stops in this race, but even so, what a start here from It's PT. Truly unbelievable from him. Our reserve driver, late entry to the feature race here this evening, and he's taking his opportunity with both hands, but Nicky's not letting him get away with this. Nicky's still sticking to the back of him. They're still bumper to bumper here, coming through the middle sector. A little bit of a slide there from It's PT, but likewise Nicky getting a little bit loose on the curb and not able to capitalise on that at the moment. So It's PT, brilliant driving, finds himself in the lead of the race. Yasko is closing on these guys though, and in the meantime we've also got to keep an eye on Edwin, who has been into the pits. So looking back through the timing screens, Edwin 20 seconds off the race lead. So I'm expecting Edwin to emerge with the race lead, surely, when these guys come in. He's only 20 seconds off the pace. Yasko is going to have to respond to this. If Yasko pits now, he'll find himself in between Traven and Ugbar. So thinking about that, it's probably the best time for Yasko to come in now, but you just never know what's going to happen. The decisions of these guys, it's all in their hands and all in the hands of their pit crew. I'm just the commentator at the end of the day, but it looks like Edwin is absolutely on course for the race win here in this feature race. He's got Archer just 5 seconds down the road from him though, so these guys look like they may potentially be able to be about to lock horns once again in the feature race. We saw them going at it in the sprint race, just 1 second separating them on the track. Archer taking the win by virtue of Edwin's penalty. But we'll have to keep an eye on this and see how it unfolds, ladies and gentlemen. It's going to be a hell of a race. Dark Ninja comes in for his drive-through penalty by the looks of it. And we're just hearing reports here that Archer has picked up a penalty. 1 second penalty from the race director for cutting the track. So we'll have to keep that in mind if he does end up closing in on Edwin in the second half of this race. He does have a 1 second penalty. So let's just keep that in mind as the race progresses. It's PT, currently your race leader, ladies and gentlemen, here for the feature race. He's pulled out the gap here to NRP. He's got almost 2 seconds now to Nicky, our man from Silverstone, Marshall at Silverstone, and Marshall on our Discord at RubbingsRacing here. Great member of our staff team, very welcoming, very friendly guy. It's good to see him running up near the front here in our feature race. Currently not letting It's PT get out of his sights, still sticking to the task. But It's PT has showed tremendous pace at the start of this race. First 9 laps he's been on fire. Went from 15th on the grid, and he finds himself now in P1. There are a few guys behind him who have already pitted, so when he comes out he should find himself probably down in about P4, but It's PT. It cannot be put down how much of a job he's done at the start of this race. Really good job there from him. Guys, let us know in the comments who your favourite for the win is. I'll let you know that Edwin and Archer have both been into the pits for their mandatory stop, so if you have a look at the timing screens, make of it what you will. Let us know in the comments who your favourite is for the race win here this evening. Looks like Johnny has dropped back a lot after coming into the pits. Obviously he had that collision there. He was running up the front with SPT and Nicky, but he's dropped way back there with that little disaster there at the end of lap 7. So SPT finds himself almost all by himself here. We've had someone drop out of the race. We've had a retirement. Who's that? Can anyone give us some news on who's just retired from the race? Duftinho is out of the race. That's not the first time this season that Duftinho has pulled out of the race before the end of the race. We'll have to get news and see if that's a mechanical fault or whether that was just him pulling out or a rage quit or whatever it was. We'll get news on that, I'm sure, very soon. It's PT's about to start lap 10. We're halfway through our feature race for round 4 of Robbins Racing's GT3 Championship. Thank you everybody so much for joining us live on YouTube. Thank you for making Robbins Racing what it is here. Thank you to all the guys on the track as well for giving us the action. It's not been plain sailing, this one, but some good racing, good, fast, clean, competitive racing, and a couple of incidents here and there. But that's part of racing at the end of the day. If you go racing expecting to have an easy ride, then you go into the wrong place. NRP here looks like he's coming under some pressure now from Yasko as they come down this back straight up towards turn 3. Not much separating these guys, just under a second here. Yasko is getting it together after struggling in the opening laps, had a few incidents, couple of collisions with Uniclark and Dalavan. Struggling in comparison to our Bosnian champion at the moment. I think they might have been into the pits for their mandatory stops. So currently, guys who have been in for their stops, everyone from Edwin downwards has been in the pits, and everyone between P1 and P5 hasn't been in the pits. So that is the state of play currently in this feature race, as we see Nicky getting a little bit loose there on the curb. He's going to see that that red 666 Lamborghini getting ever larger in his rear view mirrors, and Asko's going to go up the inside. Nicky very wisely not fighting that too much there, thinks better of getting engaged in a battle there with the championship leader, and I wouldn't say he let him through, but he definitely didn't fight it as much as he could have done. And Nicky getting very loose on the curb there, just about holding it together on the exit curb and onto the grass there. As we see what's going on in the background, Bruce Law closing in on Nicky now is by 7/10 of a second that last time around. So Bruce Law on an absolute flyer here on lap 10 of this race, and Bruce Law's not had the greatest start to the season. Oh, I'd say we're over halfway through now, but the first half of this season really hasn't been kind to him for 2020 season 1 here at Robbins Racing, but he is closing that gap here to Nicky at the moment, and Bruce Law could potentially be on for a top 3. But having said that, there are guys behind him who haven't pitted, so it's going to be difficult. Top 5 maybe for Bruce. They're going to fight it out. Bruce and Nicky, I'm sure, will be going at it in the latter half of this race. It's PT is on to lap 11 of 21 here for this feature race, and what a start from him. I keep saying it, but honestly, to go from 15th to 1st in 9 laps really was a hell of an achievement. He was in 4th place after a couple of laps, so made the most of the incidents that he had in front of him. But you've got to take your chances and make your own luck here in Robbins Racing, because you never know when an opportunity like that's going to come along again, especially with the calibre of drivers in this GT3 championship here. You never know when you're going to get a chance handed to you on a plate like that. So it's PT absolutely relishing it, and he's got just over 3 seconds now to Yasko. Yasko's closing that gap though. Last time around, Yasko a second quicker than our race leader, but I'm sure that Yasko is going to be most worried about Edwin and Archer, who are closing in behind these guys and have been in for their mandatory pit stops. So you see P5 and P6, Edwin and Archer, they've both been in for their stops, so they will not need to stop again, which means that when Yasko, ISPT, NRP, Bruce come in for their mandatory stops, they will drop back behind these two guys. Edwin and Archer were expecting to take P1 and 2 by the time the pit stop phases come around. But yeah, SPT doing a consistent job at the moment, and actually last time around Yasko and SPT pretty even, so it looks as like maybe that gap not coming down by as much as it was But having said that, you know, its PT was a stand-in for this evening, so he didn't get to practice as much as the guys that you see regularly week in, week out here for this GT3 championship. It cannot be overemphasised how well its PT's done here to get this sorted out in very, very short notice here for this evening. Let's have a look back down the order and see what's going on with these guys. It looks like Travis and Johnny are going side by side here. This is the battle here for P11. These guys are going to go absolutely, they're not going to give any quarter here, even if it's for P11. We know Travis and Johnny, two of the hardest racers here on the grid here in our GT3 championship. They're not going to leave anything out there. Travis has got it, but Johnny right up his rear, and Travis gets a little bit loose right, goes very, very wide on the curb there, but holds it together under the bridge, and Johnny not letting Traven out of his sights, but Traven does seem to have a little bit more grip coming through there. Looks like he might be running with some more downforce. A little bit of a wobble on the curb there on the exit. Johnny's still in the slipstream here as they come into this flat out section towards the end of the track. Johnny not letting Traven get away from him at the moment, but Traven just about doing enough here as they come into this heavy braking zone. This right-hander, you've got to take a little bit of curve on the entry, but you don't want to get too wide on the exit curve because it will throw you off onto the runoff, and ultimately you'll end up in the wall. And that's why this Road America circuit is so challenging. The curbs really are lethal. They're uncompromising, should I say, in this part of the world, and these guys navigating them but beautifully as we see them coming onto the straight now, and Johnny's closed right up out of the last corner. He's going to have an excellent run here in the slipstream down the pit straight. Traven and Johnny, nothing to separate these guys at the moment. Traven looks like he's got it, but Johnny's going to get a lovely run. He's going to look to the inside. No, Traven's going to cover it off. No, he's not. He's going to leave the door wide open. Johnny pulls alongside, but he's going to have to back out of that in the braking zone. Traven very late on the brakes there, and Johnny in the end thought better of getting involved in that one, but Traven gets a little bit loose there on the exit of turn one. Johnny's going to have another look. He covers the inside, does Traven. Johnny's going to have to go around the long way if he wants to get this done, and in the end it looks like Traven holding on to the position there, staying in front, parking his car in all the right places on the apex, but Johnny's going to get another lovely run coming down this back straight under the Sargento bridge, and Traven goes defensive very, very early towards the inside. Johnny's going to go around him, pulls to the outside, side by side here as they come up towards turn 3. It looks like Traven's going to be late on the brakes once again. Johnny's going to try the undercut, but it looks like Traven beautifully defending that car, making sure that his car was parked on the apex. Johnny had nowhere to go, had to slam on the brakes there. So a good wily racing there from Traven, holding on to P11. Very, very good driving there from Traven. In the meantime, what's going on at the front of the field? Yasko has picked up the lead. Its PT's made a mistake. Its PT must have had a spin as the track gets colder and colder here this evening. It looks like he's lost the position. Yasko finds himself in the race lead. So Yasko has got a 14-second lead to Edwin, who has been into the pits for his mandatory stop, as has Archil. So we're expecting that Yasko should slot in behind these two once he comes in for his stop. Its PT and NRP also still needing to make their mandatory stops before the end of this race. We are on lap 13 of 21 here for the feature race here for the GT3 Championship this evening here at Robbins Racing. Thank you to everyone for joining us. If you're interested in joining Robbins Racing, all you need to do is go to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk, register as a driver. Be sure to hit that sub, like and bell button on YouTube, and donate at www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. We're seeing some excellent racing here this evening. It is race on between Edwin, Archil and Yasko, but it looks like Yasko's going to lose this lead by the time he comes into the pits. He's only got 14 seconds to Edwin here at the front. Edwin in turn's got 3.5 seconds to Archil. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is where the race is. The battle between Edwin and Archil is going to be absolutely classic here, as we can see Archil gaining on Edwin all the time, 3/10 faster that last time around. He's just gradually eating into that lead of Edwin's, and these two obviously net first and second once the pit stop phases come around for Yasko, its PT and NRP. I'll keep reminding you if you're just joining us, guys, Edwin and Archil net first and second. The top three are still yet to pit. When they do, it's going to be a great battle between those guys. 3 seconds separates them on the track, but we know Archil slightly quicker in terms of outright pace than Edwin. He had pole position in qualifying by quite some margin, so we know that Archil's got the pace to challenge, and Edwin's going to be walking a tightrope at the end of this race. We've got 7 laps to go here for the feature race. Its PT is going to bring it in for his mandatory pit stop, and when he does, that will release Nick into P2, and Edwin will move up a position as well. So Yasko, NRP, Edwin, the top 3 at the moment on lap 14 here. 7 laps to go here for the feature. And what's going on towards the back of the pack? It looks like we've got Ugbar here is closing onto the back of Lionsfoot, and Dalavan closing onto the back of Ugbar. So this could be a great battle here between these guys. Definitely opening up at the moment. Johnny is still on the back of Travin here for P11, but no changes there as it stands in that particular battle. Ugbar here definitely being homed in by Dalavan, but our Flying Dutchman is definitely closing in on Lionsfoot. Let's keep an eye on this battle here. Ugbar is our 45-year-old from Hoogeveen in the Netherlands. He's a league coordinator, runs the LMP2 championships on Saturday night. Hopefully we'll be broadcasting that one next season to the YouTube channel. We're always on the lookout for new broadcasters and commentators to join our ranks here at Rubbings Racing. If you're interested, there will be a recruitment form that we're going to be releasing on our Discord very soon, which will allow broadcasters and commentators to get involved and become a part of our staff team here at Rubbings Racing. So stay tuned for that. We've got something coming very, very soon that will allow people to get involved with the broadcasting team. In the meantime, it looks like Lionsfoot are getting a little bit out of shape there on the exit of turn 2, sorry, and that has allowed Ugbar to pull right up onto the back of him, coming up towards turn 3 now, but it looks like it's a little bit too far back to make a move at the moment. Dalavan in the background, waiting in the wings. So in the meantime, we're going to have a look at the front, see what's going on. Yasko leading the race by 10 seconds to Nicky. Yasko and Nicky still have to come in to make their mandatory pit stops, and when they do, that will allow Edwin and Archel to gain the positions. Just having a look, it's going to be an interesting fight for P4 between Nicky and its PT when Nicky comes out of the pits. Nicky's driven a brilliant race here in his first race for the Lamborghini team this evening. Made the switch from the Nissan GTR. Here he is, NRP. Made the switch from the Nissan GTR to the Lamborghini for this race. Said that the Nissan was handling really, really badly around this track, as did Scotty actually. Both of these guys decided to step away from the Nissan for this race, and it's been an inspired choice for Nicky. Scotty as well, running P7, doing an excellent job so far in this one. Good to see those guys getting to grips with their new cars nice and quickly here this evening. What is Edwin doing? He's closing onto the back of Nicky at the moment, 3 seconds faster than Nicky that last time around was Edwin, but they're driving in different races, guys. Edwin's doesn't have to pit, Nicky does, so once that all gets played into effect, it's not going to really influence the race very much at all. It looks like they're coming up onto some traffic, It looks like Nicky's coming up onto some traffic, is he? Let's go right on board. I'm sure I saw some headlights or something in front of him, maybe. No, I'm just going nuts. Sorry about that. So that was just probably Nicky's headlights that I was seeing on Edwin's on board. Apologies for that. Said Nicky, doing a good job at the moment. P2 currently. His fight is really with its PT in this one. I'm sure those guys are going to be going at it for P4 once Nicky comes into the pits, but currently running in a podium position here. NRP, Marshall on our Discord, and works at Silverstone, is a great guy to have on board with us. Drives in the Clio Cup, as well as the GT3 Ginetta League. Raced in the LMP2s at the start of the season, had to pull out of that one unfortunately, but he's regular in a lot of our leagues here this season. And we're just seeing some blue flags being waved for Dark Ninja. So Dark Ninja, you're going to have to pull over and let the leaders past, and he does so very, very nicely. Good job there from Cole, pulling over and allowing Edwin to put a lap on him. So hats off to there from Cole. Good to see. Yasko still coming round. He's got just over 5 laps to go here in this feature race. He's trying to build the gap here to Edwin and Archel, but at the moment, looking at the timing screens, it's not going to be enough to take the race win. He needs to build up at least another 5-10 seconds to even have a chance of staying in front of these guys when he comes out of the pit lane. So at the moment, Yasko not doing enough. It looks like he may have to set up a P3 as it stands. Edwin knows if he can win this race this evening, it will take a massive chunk out of Yasko's lead in the championship. If it stays the way we're expecting it to go in this race, he will take 9 points out of Yasko's lead. So if my calculations are correct, they will be tied on points after this race. That's my calculations. Bear in mind, I haven't accounted for fastest laps or any of that stuff. So once that comes in, the state of play might be slightly different, but it's definitely going to be very, very close, I'll tell you that much. Edwin and Yasko, the two former champions. Yasko, the current reigning champion, and Edwin was the 2019 Season 1 champion here at Rubbings Racing, the first ever GT3 champion on our Rubbings Racing League. As we see, there's got a bit of action here for P8 at the moment. Looks like Ugbar is just got ahead of Lionsfoot. Lionsfoot might be able to try and fight back here as they come down the pit straight. Not much at all between these guys. Sounds like Lionsfoot there made a mistake, and that was actually Ugbar getting past him for 8th position. The Flying Dutchman making progress. Next up for the Flying Dutchman will be Dalavan, but Dalavan did actually overtake them a couple of laps ago. So be interesting to see if Ugbar can fight back and get back on Dalavan's tail. But it looks like this race dying out for these guys at the moment. Yasko still maintaining his lead, I'd say, to NRP, but NRP's got his mirrors absolutely full now of Edwin. These guys on different strategies. NRP's been in the pits. Sorry, hasn't been in the pits, but Edwin has been. So this is a totally different race here. It'll be interesting to see how Nicky negotiates this one. He has under no obligation to let Edwin past. So Nicky can fight this one as much as he wants. There's no blue flags. He's under no obligation to let the Colombian through. Will he let him through? We'll have to wait and see. It looks like he's not going to fight this one too hard. Edwin pulls alongside. They're going to go side by side through this section, and Nicky, very sportsmanlike there from NRP, not fighting that one too hard, allowing Edwin to take that without too much fuss. And now Archel right onto the back of Nicky as well. Archel won't want to lose too much time here to Edwin, and there we go. Nicky pulling it in for his mandatory pit stop there. Very, very good driving from Nicky. Great to see. And he has a little bit of a wobble there on the exit entrance to the pit lane. Had to drive it into the wall to avoid getting a penalty there. That car clearly going too fast as he going into the pit lane, but keeps it together there. Nicky could be on for a top 4 finish here in the feature race for round 4 of Rubbings Racing's GT3 Championship here at Road America. So battle for the lead. Yasko 17 seconds is gap to Edwin. He needs about 25-26 seconds if he wants to win the race. It looks like Yasko's not going to do it here in the feature race. Edwin and Archel still staying within striking distance, and if they stay where they are, then they'll finish 1 and 2. But which one of them will be 1? That is the main question here. Edwin currently with track position, but Archel closing in on him. Archel does have a 1 second penalty, which we must account for, and it's still a 1 second penalty. So if it stays as it is, Edwin will take the win here. But Archel absolutely flying, and he needs to get in front of Edwin and pull a second gap if he wants to take the win. We know he's capable of it, but Edwin also very capable of defending that position. So we'll have to keep an eye on this one and see how it unfolds. It's all about how much Edwin can afford to defend here, and even if he lets Archel by, as long as he stays within a second, he'll still take the win due to Archel's penalty. And I know that it would be quite ironic actually if Archel did get past Edwin and failed to pull out a second, because then Edwin would take the win based on Archel's penalty. So it would be a role reversal essentially of what we saw in the sprint race, where we saw Archel actually take the win due to Edwin's 2 second penalty in the latter stages of that sprint race. It's all to play for here in the final 4 laps of this race. Where is Yasko? Is he going to come in for his mandatory stop now? Yes, he is. Our Bosnian reigning champion, championship leader, pulls it into the pits, slows it down to 37 miles an hour. That's going to allow Edwin and Archel to take first and second here. And you can see Archel closing right onto the back of Edwin as they come through the last corner. They're going to come down the pit straight less than a second apart. This is fantastic. Final 4 laps here for the feature race for round 4 of Rubbings Racing's GT3 Championship. Looks like Yasko should emerge in 3rd place here, unless he had a terrible pit stop. It looks like he's just coming towards the end of the pit lane now. Where is its PT? It looks like Nicky's lost out massively due to his little excursion on the entry to the pit lane. He's found himself in P6. He's closing in onto the back of Bruce Law, but it looks like maybe 4th place has got away from him. We said earlier in the race that Bruce Law and Nicky would be fighting over P5 in this feature race, and it's turned out to be exactly that way. Great stuff here. Nicky closing in on Bruce Law. He's got 3 laps to do something about that here. Can he get into top 5 position, or will Bruce Law get that position here? Bruce Law driving a good race here in the feature race. It's not been a great season so far, but he's fighting back here in this one. And what is going on at the front at the moment is still Edwin just about holding on to the lead here. A little bit of a slide there under the Corvette bridge, and that's going to allow Archer to pull right on the back of him. But Edwin at the moment still with track position. Archer with the 1 second penalty knows he's got to pull something absolutely phenomenal out of the bag if he wants to win this race. He's got to not only get past him, but he's got to pull out a gap of a second to our Colombian former champion of the GT3 division. Is it possible, or is it going to be too much of a task here for Archel to pull out? It looks like Edwin is going to absolutely cut into that deficit to Jasko in the championship. Jasko went into this round with a 16-point lead in the championship. Edwin halved that to 8 with a victory in the sprint race, and it looks like he's going to do that again. So by my calculations, without fastest laps taken into account, it's going to be tied on points. With fastest laps, it could still be tied on points, you never know. But pole position, fastest lap, there are bonus points here at RubbingsRacing's GT3 Championship to throw an extra element into the mix. But at the moment, Edwin doing a fantastic job, and it looks like he's going to close that deficit a lot. But there's a little bit of contact there between those guys at the front, and Archil's going to look to the inside coming out of the last corner. Archel makes the move at the exit of the final turn, and he's up into P1, but Edwin's going to stop back into the slipstream. And is Edwin going to try and fight back here as they come over the line to complete lap 18? We've got 3 laps left to go in the feature race. Edwin pulls to the outside, Archel goes defensive very, very early on. They are side by side down the pit straight here at Road America. Archel very late on the brakes, and Edwin's going to look to undercut him on the exit. Archel's lost it. Oh my goodness, it looks like it's just about held it together, but Edwin's going to go back up the inside here, side by side once again. Fantastic racing between these guys. Edwin holds on to the position just about, but Archel absolutely hassling the back of him as Edwin goes defensive to the inside very early on in this long straight down between turns 2 and 3. It looks like Archel's starting into the slipstream. He's going to have to go around the outside. Edwin's going to defend it with everything he's got. It's Mercedes versus Mercedes. These two teammates absolutely going at it here in the final few laps here of the feature race, and Edwin's gone very, very wide there coming through turn 3. Archel though tries to avoid him and ends up almost losing the car, just about holds it together there under the Corvette bridge. Edwin goes very wide. The track is getting colder and colder, and as it does, the grip is going to absolutely diminish, and some of these guys on the hard tyres, we know the hard tyres are absolutely terrible in these sorts of conditions, and while these guys fight it out, Jasko is closing in on these guys. He went 2 seconds faster just in that last sector alone. So while these two battle it out, Jasko is going to be looking at that timing screen. I imagine Jasko probably on the soft tyres, and he's going to be potentially in with a shout. If these guys come together, Jasko closing at the rate that he is, won't be too far off these guys. And the last thing that Edwin wants in this situation, where he's actually in a position where he can gain lots of points on Jasko, is for him to end up gifting the race win to our reigning champion. But we'll have to keep an eye on this one. As Archel looks to the inside there, a little bit of contact, but looks like Edwin's going to run wide. Archel's lost it. Archel's lost the car coming through the 4th to last corner, end at the start of the final sector, and that's going to give Edwin a little bit of breathing space now. So Edwin has got a 1.3 second lead here over Archel as Edwin comes into the final turn. We're about to start the penultimate lap here of this race. Edwin with the lead, just over a second. Archel with the penalty. So at the moment it's a very long shot of Archel taking the win, but you never know what can happen here at RubbingsRacing. Edwin has it, Archel wants it. Who's going to get it here? It's anyone's guess here. Let us know in the comments who you think is going to get this one. This is very close, very tight action between these guys here at the moment. But yeah, I've just realised that the comments have been coming through, and I've been stuck on a certain part of the comments, and I thought no one was commenting. Jesus Christ, that's embarrassing. Right, anyway, so at the moment Edwin with the race lead, but just over a second here to Archel with the penalty. And so we got Lee Kendall saying good sportsmanship, NRP. Flaky writes something, not sure what. Console calls Flaky rude. It looks like Matty Cake says well, I don't know. It looks like Jeff Sharp says it's like an ice rink. It is very much so. The track getting absolutely colder and colder by the second, Jeff. And the grip is looking like it's on a knife's edge here at the moment. Edwin with the race lead. Archel closing in. These guys both on the hard tyres. Both just complete lottery at the moment here. Look at this. These guys all over the place. Jasko, I think he must be on the soft tyres because he's closed in 4 seconds on the last lap. It looks like it might be too little too late for Jasko though, because we're near almost on the final lap. In the meantime, Archel closing back onto Edwin again. He's going to look to the inside, but Edwin can't cross the line there. They're going to go almost side by side. Edwin just about holding on to the position. Archel all over the back of him, looks to the inside, to the outside and to the middle, but can't get around him. Edwin holding on, goes to the inside once again. We're almost on to the last lap here. This is going to be an unbelievable fight for the win. And Archel's pulled alongside. They're going side by side. Edwin leaves the door open. It looks like Archel's going to try around him, but Edwin goes airing out with the brakes, just about hold on to the position, but Archel trying to go for the undercut. It looks like he's not going to do it. Archel goes very wide there on the exit of the final turn. Edwin pushes him out, and Archel, it looks like he's retired from the race. What's he done that for? It was the last lap. Archel retires from the race with a lap to go. It looks like Edwin comes over the line to start the last lap. It looks like the race is over for Archel. That's well, he's pulled out of the race with a lap to go. Bizarre from Archel there. Bizarre decision there. So it looks like Jasko is going to inherit second place with that little exploit there from Archel. I'm really not sure what was going on there, but Edwin with the race lead looks like he's got this one in the bag. Got a 10-second lead here to Jasko at the moment. We're just under 10 seconds. Jasko a lot quicker that last time around, but Edwin with track position has driven a fantastic race so far in this one. Looking down the order, what's going on with Lionsfoot and Ugbar? They're very, very close on the track. Looks like Lionsfoot's got past Ugbar pretty recently, but Ugbar not letting this one go, still sticking to the back of our Welshman. It's Welshman versus Dutchman as they come out of the last corner. They're about to start the final lap now. So this is going to be raced on Lionsfoot against Ugbar here. Two of our staff members here at Robbins Racing going at it side by side, wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper. And looks like Johnny's got past Traven for P9. Those guys were having an excellent battle. Johnny has got up a position there. Traven down to the P10 at the moment. But Lionsfoot and Ugbar very, very close on the road at the moment. Really nothing to separate these guys. Ugbar has a little look, but thinks better of that one coming through turn 2. Lionsfoot's going to get hopefully a nice exit here, but Ugbar, you can see, slots right into the slipstream there. Definitely going to have a chance coming under the Sargento Bridge. It looks like Lionsfoot's going to go sort of half-heartedly defensive, but in the end doesn't really need to do that much here. We're going to go on board with our race leader, our Colombian driver, our Season 1 2019 champion Edwin is coming into the last few corners now. He's driven a fantastic feature race in this one. Got robbed at the sprint race due to a penalty there at the end of that one, but definitely has made up for it in the sprint race. He's going to exit the final corner now, and he will be closing that gap in the championship to Jasko. I'm sure it's going to be only a couple of points. We'll have to run the calculations and see exactly what the state of play is in the championship. But Edwin takes the win here at Road America for the feature race for round 4 Rubbings Racing's GT3 championship. Brilliant driving from him. Jasko is going to come over the line in second place, championship leader, with a not so great round compared to what we're used to from Jasko, but definitely a solid job there from our Bosnian. It's PT. It's going to complete the podium with Archel's last lap retirement there. Absolutely bizarre decision there from Archel to retire from the race on the final lap there. Not exactly sure what was going on. I'm sure we'll find out in the post-race. So it's PT, comes over the line. Third place for him. Bruce Law comes over the line in fourth, holds off NRP. NRP in the end looks like he's just about going to hold on here from Dalavan as they come towards the line. It's going to be a drag, but it looks like NRP is going to do it just ahead of Dalavan. Lionsfoot coming round in P7. He's got Ugbar very, very close in tow. This is going to be a hell of a battle here for P7. It looks like Scotty's got it, but can Ugbar do anything in the final few corners of this final lap? It looks like they're coming out the last corner now, and it looks like Scotty's going to do it here. But Ugbar closing very, very close on the back of him. No, it's too little too late for Ugbar. Scotty takes P7. Ugbar in 8th place. Then we've got Johnny coming round in 9th. It could have been a much better race for Johnny. Unfortunately, contact with its PT and Uni Clark, I think. Or Bruce. No, it was Uni. With Johnny obviously with the contact there in the final sector on, I think it was lap 7, dropped him way back. Traven completes the top 10. We've got, it was Traven, not Uni Clark, I'm sorry, it was Traven. Johnny had contact with Traven and its PT, dropped him way back. Uni Clark in P11, coming out of the last turn now. And Dark Ninja, a couple of laps down, completes the classification in 12th place. Thank you everybody for joining us live on the YouTube stream. Thank you to all the guys for giving us the on-track action. If you're interested in joining us here at Rubbings Racing, then go to www.rubbingsracing.co.uk. Don't forget to donate, and be sure to hit that sub, like and bell button on YouTube. And don't forget to join us on Tuesday for Rubbings Racing's Touring Car Championship, where we'll be at the Red Bull Ring in Austria, 4th of February, this coming Tuesday at 8 PM GMT. Join us next week for round 5 of the GT3 Championship from Indianapolis Road Course. We will see you guys then. Congratulations to Edwin, Yasko and ItsBT for the podium places. We'll catch you guys in a bit. I'm going to leave the stream going so people can talk amongst themselves, so I'm not going to just cut it off straight away. But guys, thank you ever so much. Thank you to everybody on the track. Well done to all of you, and we'll see you guys again very soon. Peace.